Hey, Lauren here. We're still talking contingencies, and now we are on to an appraisal contingencies. One of my favorites. I don't know why. Sometimes they're meaningless. Anyway, so contingency is a provision for an unforeseen event, and they typically go alongside a offer to purchase a property. A appraisal contingency in particular is saying, hey, I'm offering $500,000 for this house. I expect the appraisal to come at or slightly above the offer price, and if it does not, then we're going to have a little chat. So that appraisal contingency is so very important when you do get a quality appraisal, one that is worth its weight, not just this is not the time for a desktop appraisal. It's more, you want to actually know if you're going to put in an appraisal contingency, you want a good appraisal that has value to it, and so you want to hire a reputable appraiser. And let's say you have an appraisal contingency in your offer right now, and let's say you offered $500,000, the appraisal comes in at $490,000. What does that mean when you have a contingency? Basically means you can walk out of the deal unless the buyer or the sellers will go into a resolution with you and either lower the price to $490,000 where that appraisal is, or they might just say, no, we'll wait for someone that doesn't care and we want $500,000 for it. And that also brings up another point of something right now that I'm seeing a lot in the Colorado area. It's a big seller's market, and so I'm actually seeing offers must come with, or sellers are requesting that all offers come up with an appraisal gap, which basically means they're not accepting an appraisal contingencies at all. And even with financing, because financing usually has an appraisal with it as well. So those two contingencies kind of go hand in hand at times, but the appraisal gap is actually if that appraisal for the bank doesn't come in at that $500,000, let's say it comes in back at that $490,000, with an appraisal gap, the buyer is saying they will pay that $10,000 difference and move on. I think that is scary. And I think if you are a buyer, you really need to understand what that means and what bidding wars can do for you. And it's going to take you much longer to get value out of your home. And so I'm always a little concerned with an appraisal gap if I am a buyer. But that's also why you need a good agent, because you can get pretty darn close to an accurate value on the house. And if you know something's going for 20% more than what it should, you probably shouldn't be putting an offer down anyway. However, if you're the seller, you just want as much money possible. So you want that appraisal gap. So if you guys ever have any questions, a lot of these terms are kind of static terms. However, right now, or the real estate market is a very dynamic market. It moves all the time. And so these definitions do change. The connotation of these terms does change based on the market. Right now it's a seller's market and an appraisal contingency. You throw in an offer with an appraisal contingency, they'll throw it right back at you. They're like, bye-bye, I'm not dealing with you. I'm going to go look at these 13 other offers that are all above asking price. So if you guys ever have any questions, my door is always open.